one thing that I see pros do, that I see amateurs not do in the business of being an expert, is creating and offering packages. So let's talk about what a package is and why this is so good. A package is a set of products and services that you put together into one group, one offer, and sell at a price for all of them put together. Now, you see this all the time. You buy pre-made dinner off the menu and you get 5 different items as opposed to offering a la carte. That's a package. There's so many examples of this throughout everything. When you buy a car, you actually most of the time are buying a package. You're buying a package with a warranty, with a payment structure, those kinds of things. And oftentimes it comes with these set of features in that car. Whereas if you were to buy each one of those features independently for your car, it'll cost you a whole lot more. So why would you want to offer packages? Well, let me give you some reasons. The first one is it's a lot easier to sell a package. And let me explain why. What you tend to do when you put together packages is you choose one thing that everybody really, really wants, and then 5 things that some people will want. And what ends up happening is that people are attracted initially to a package because they want that one thing. And then they see this thing over there and they go, oh, I want that too, and I want that too, and I want that too, and I want that too. And so in the end, you're not selling one thing, you're selling this group of features that bring with them independent benefits together. And so it makes this sell be so much easier. Next, it allows you to raise your price. So if all you're selling is that one thing that they want, you oftentimes are competing against other people on price for that one thing. But if you put together this whole group of things, then the price match comparison becomes much more difficult. And so consequently, you're able to increase your price in this whole thing. It tends to increase your profits, oftentimes because you're selling more stuff at a higher price than you would be if you just sold onesies and twosies at the same time. But then in addition to that, this especially is true if some of the elements are high margin elements in that. Let me explain what I mean by that. So those elements can be things, some of them are more time consuming, more labor involved and things like that to deliver that. And so if you have some elements that are less of that, you're able to charge as if they all require that higher level of effort. And so you actually increase your price margin. Or maybe you outsource parts of it, which helps you, again, to increase your margin on it. Or, hey, who knows? It could be that some of these elements are automated. You've got this program off the side that creates these reports. You're selling as part of the package, but that report is literally delivered to your email and white labeled possibly with your logo on it and everything. And all you have to do is send it on to them. It's part of the package. Or it could also be that parts of it are template based. So you're not doing everything from scratch every time. You're simply going through and filling out the template as you go along. Another advantage of selling packages is they tend to reduce client disagreement. So anytime you're in especially consulting kind of role, sometimes in a coaching kind of role, what ends up happening is you end up having disagreements with the clients because they said, I thought you were giving me this. What ends up happening is when you got a package, you clearly have stated in the package, this is what you get, this. And if there's ever any question, you just go back to that document. Is it on that document? Did I deliver what was on that document? Great. You know what? You may have had expectations or desires to receive something outside of that. Is it on that document? No, that's not part of the deal that you originally had. Another piece is it tends to reduce scope creep. Here's what happens with scope creep. So scope creep happens when you originally started to do this, but then, hey, this would be nice, and this would be nice, and this would be nice. And what ends up happening is you as the provider of that, they say this would be nice, and you look at it and say, well, that's no big deal. I can just add that in. By the time you've done that 10 times, all of a sudden your profit margin's way, way down because you're giving so much more than you originally promised. And so what ends up happening is by offering a package, again, you're able to go back. Is it on the package? No, it's not. Okay, that'll be extra. I'd be happy to talk to you about what it would cost to do that. And so you no longer have this constant scope creep that tends to happen with certain clients. Now, let me give you the secrets to putting together the packages. The first one is to clearly show what's included in the package. So somewhere you've got a sales page that you can refer back to, you can refer them back to, that shows here's a list with a description of what it is in each one of the elements of the package. And then what you do is, in addition to doing that, remember when I started this whole thing, I said you start with one thing that everybody wants, and then things that some people want. And by the time you put 3 or 4 other things that some people want, what ends up happening is everybody wants at least 2 of those things. And what you do when you do this, as you build a package, is you look at it and you say, how can I build perceived value into this package? In other words, you look at it and you say, what's that one thing that everybody wants? What else does everybody want? How can I put that into the package in a way that will be very profitable to me, yet still have the package be incredibly valuable to everybody else? I suggest you keep it simple. I do not recommend packages with 14 items in them. Packages with 3 to 5 items in them are very excellent. They meet all these other criteria that I just showed you, and they create these advantages that I talked about. And then don't deviate with the package without charging more. So if someone comes in, they says, I love this thing and I love that thing, I don't want these other 3 things. How much will that cost me? Okay, well, what you just did is you just asked me to a la carte. And just like when I go into a restaurant and here's the fish and it comes with these 3 vegetables and a salad and things like that. If I want to break out how much for just the fish and the salad, it's probably going to cost me more than buying the package of everything together. You do that same thing. If someone wants to deviate from the package, it's going to cost them more than it would be to get the entire package together. Next, as you do these, build delivery systems. Take each individual piece of that package apart and look at it systemically and say, how can I reduce the time and effort and error associated with creating this particular element of it? And so you're building these systems, things like you're creating checklists within your team to deliver them. You're creating systems. You're creating assignments, you're creating tracking to simplify the delivery of it, and so that it becomes even more profitable to you over time. Breaking down each element of the package into its parts increases your ability to build systemization. If you're looking at it as a whole package, it's always more confusing. Break it into the individual pieces, and that system will become more clear, enabling you to deliver at a lower cost, enable you to probably serve your clients better, and in the end, make more money while you're at it. So that's the essence of this concept of packaging. I strongly recommend you go through and look at what you offer and say, how can I build a package? By the way, this is a wonderful thing if you're one of those people who says, oh, I think I should just offer a $19 a month membership program and it'll sell millions. Well, it won't. And if you use that as a piece of a package, then you're able to sell a package and have that there, that then that thing continues on as your continuity as time goes on. So think about that as you're putting together your packages. What's your thought? Let me know in the comments. This is Don Crowther saying, just go do this stuff.